The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Ladies' Room, Morris Media Live Studios, and I'm Brenda, and I'm going to be your host today, only me. We have a lot to talk about. I want to say, first of all, Memorial Weekend is coming. I want everyone to have an absolutely wonderful time. This is my time of the year where, believe it or not, my friends from my neighborhood where I grew up at, we all get together and have a picnic, an annual picnic. And I'm looking forward to it. It's tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. So lighten up. It's Memorial Day weekend. I want to have a really good time, enjoy all my old friends. And that's really crazy because you live a lifetime and you're looking over how many people are still with you that you are still you still affiliate with. And just for various reasons, there's no mission attached to it. It's just true friendship, people that you've known for a long time, and you get to have opportunity to get together and enjoy each other's company. You get to sit down, listen to oldies, and play dominoes, maybe cards, spades, and just really enjoy memories that you have built with other people. And that's what it's about, sharing. Memorial Day was people that shared their lives for others. So I think it's important that we all take it a little bit more serious, give a little bit more love, and share our lives and our experiences with each other. Because we're here just sharing, experiencing each other. And that's important. I have to say, I cannot let the day go by without saying, hey, top of the morning, Nip. I just want to say that I've still been following situations, conversations, articles, and books from Nip. And I find it quite interesting that he is just moving. Still, people are still talking about him. People are still sharing about him. He's still sharing. And I just find that interesting. I thought that it would be something that would just kind of fade out because, I wasn't around when Martin Luther King or Malcolm X experienced their experience. So I didn't get to feel what probably my parents felt. But even though he's younger, I still had an opportunity to feel the spirit that was going on with him for the betterment of our community. I'm like, wow, that was very interesting. I read an article yesterday discussing what they call it, the opportunity zone, that he had scheduled to do an appointment with them in Washington, D.C. yesterday. And he wasn't, able to make that. But T.I. and Charlemagne the God, they stepped in and thought it was important to keep it going, and they went to the actual meeting to be able to discuss what happens in the African American community or the black community. And I think that's part of keeping the marathon going. It's not necessarily about the money. I didn't get that point of view from it. I'm looking at it from it's keeping the movement of becoming and doing what's necessary alive. And I think for them to even step up and say, okay, you know what, there's a point here, let's keep it going. It was a program that was already instituted. It was nothing that Nipsey brought to them new, but he was utilizing the resources that were available. And so that's how that happened, and where T.I. and Charlemagne said, okay, you know what, we're going to do something for the community. And I think that's important because if we don't do for your own community, the result is zero. You have nothing. And I think it's important that we do that. And I'm learning that. That's one of the thoughts that transformed me from just listening to the young man, Nipsey, and following and looking at the books he read and just going along with the program, understanding who he was. It made me think differently. just as a black female, a woman, a person, period. And that's the thing that I love the most is that spirit just moves in you, whether it be for everyone or just this person. I don't know where it goes or who gets affected by it, but what it did for me was to make me rethink a few things that I've had to challenge myself on. And I'm okay with it. But I want to say good big ups to that for them stepping up and going to Washington and trying to keep the marathon alive is awesome. And also I want to say to YG, I totally appreciate his words, his honesty, because it's very difficult to be honest in this social media society, and just period. But for someone to be able to step up and be honest and tell their true feelings to the world about another individual, that's awesome to me. That's big. That's priceless. That's priceless. Because that means you're being honest and you're being 100. And for that, I give my hats off to him. I have been following his posts a little bit, and he has been completely positive, uplifting, and being honest about his own transformation. So I appreciate that, because until we can talk to each other and be honest, where will the change come in? And a change is necessary. Just for us to be dealing with each other one-on-one, supporting our businesses. Oh, my God. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Rennis because you actually support my business, and I appreciate that. And that's a family member, and I truly appreciate you sharing my information and knowledge with someone else who called me. Thank you so much, because it's difficult as family members. I don't know what your family is like. Every family is different, but I'm sure there are similarities. Sometimes we can get along really well and sometimes we don't. And usually us supporting each other is not the priority, top thing on the list. And I don't know why. So for someone to support me or give me as a reference, I appreciate that. Thank you to my cousin, Rennis. Oh my God, and now we're going to want to talk about graduations. That made me think of graduations, you guys. I'm so proud of all the graduates. That is just an achievement in itself, to just complete something. Oh, that's the word, complete. Because you have to work with completion. You have to finish it. And a graduate is saying that you completed it. I finished it. The task is done. And now I can go on to the next one. And that might sound like really easy. Complete, it might sound like it's easy. And it could be to some people now. And I'm not judging everybody. But I'm saying that you have to be on a mission to stay focused, driven, and to complete the mission. It takes complete focus. So to my graduates out there, my niece, I have great nieces, Ayana Wilson and Jamila Wilson, congratulations. One received her master's, and I'm proud to say, and the other one, she received her Bachelor of Arts degree, her Bachelor of Science. But I'm proud of both of you. My other niece, I have another niece graduating, Jaslyn, I'm proud of you. Oh my God, I have a call. I'm proud of you. Hold on a second for the call. But I totally am so proud of them. And to all the young men out there who have achieved their goal in graduating, I'm so proud of you. Morehouse guys, Mr. Smith, oh my God, that was unbelievable. Totally unbelievable. And just absolutely wonderful. He paid the debt off. Who does that? A real person. That was awesome. I mean, totally. And allowing them to leave college debt-free, they could start businesses, create their own communities. That was really huge. Really, really huge. Hats off to him triple times, as well as everyone else who has contributed. I can't hear. Yes. Hold on just a moment. Caller? Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. You know who this is?
Not right offhand.
It's Brittany.
Oh my God. Hi, Britt.
Hi. I love you so much.
Oh my God. Thank you.
I'm so proud of
Oh
you.
my God. Thank you, Britt. You got me blushing and everything. Hi, Britt.
I'm
And I'm
good.
so proud of you,
Thank you.
of all your accomplishments.
Thank
You're
you. I
young.
also wanted to shout out my brother who's going to be graduating, as well as your son. And I just want to say that I love you, and I just thank you so much for how you built us up as kids and just as girls. You know, we all would come to your house, and you would teach us how to get along with each other and teach us how we're supposed to treat ourselves as girls. And I just feel like you've contributed to a lot of myself and me being a better person. And I just appreciate you so much. So I just
Oh,
wanted to thank you and call in and thank you in front of all your fans. They need
oh
to
my God.
know.
Oh my God, you have me up here blushing. Oh my God, I love you, Britt,
I love
Kiara,
you
the whole, all of you guys. You guys, it was wonderful. It's a pleasure to have you guys at my house and be able to touch so many little lives and just have a good time and show you guys what it was like just to be girls. And so I really appreciate the call. And tell your mama I say hello.
I will.
Okay, and I'll talk to you really soon.
Okay, love you.
You too. Wow, that was interesting. Oh my God. I mean, just totally off guard. But I'm really have been a soldier for our girls for a long time. Even when they were little, my house was the house. Have all the girls come over from tea parties to just talk sessions and just let them know that they are, you can, you're beautiful, and just encourage them. And I'm just so proud of so many of them when I see them or they'll call in or I'll talk to them or we're on Facebook sometimes. One of them, Brett, we talk back and forth, but I'm so proud of her and all of them that I had an opportunity to be in their lives when they were growing up. Because I tried to make sure that when you came to Auntie Brenda's house, you're in a safe environment, you're taken care of, and you're able to express. Let's talk about what do you think, what's going on, what's your creativity, and I always tried to push that for anybody that I touched, all my especially younger people from guys and girls, but especially the girls. We know that I was out there trying to tell them, you are special. But thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. But that's part of that marathon. It's been going on. It just has to continue. Have to continue to show love, help, make sure that we can, whatever you can do for somebody, you have to be able to, you have to do it. Because you can change one life in just a small act of kindness. Oh, and I have so many acts of kindness, so I have to give back. But yes, I'm just happy to say that the Memorial Weekend is coming. I get to see all my old friends. And we have been planning this, and so I'm excited because we're going to have a good time. And I want everyone to have a safe, good time. Shout out to the travelers, my daughter Khadijah. You guys have a wonderful time. Enjoy yourself. Be safe out there. And I'm happy to say, oh, look, my son came home for summer. The youngest one, the football player. He came home for the summer, so that's been being interesting. I'm like, oh my God, he's been gone for a long time now. And so, you know, you adjust and adapt to the absence. Like, oh, I'm not cooking. I don't have to do as much as this or that. Now he's home. I'm like, oh, Mom, you're cooking? Like, wait a minute. How have you been surviving all this time without me? But no, I really appreciate giving him a good meal at home because he looks forward to it. And I'm glad to have him home for the summer. So I'm like, that's interesting because now the dynamics are different. Because, you know, they're growing up, they're grown. And now their conversations are different. And they're talking to you straight out. I'm like, okay, well, not disrespectful straight out, nothing like that, but just good conversation, which I like. Because I like to communicate and like to hear what's happening. And they do let you know. They do not play around with it when they're telling you something. Excuse me. But anyway, so I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the home and the children. And it's funny because as a parent, you think that you are just putting everything you have into these little people. And you really are. You really do. But they like, okay, all right. And you're just doing the best possible job that you can with them. And then they grow up and you look at them like, oh, wait, who are you? Who raised you? No, that's just part of it. But there's both sides to it, to the parenting. That is something different. Wow. Now I have grandchildren. And that's something really different, too. Like, oh, my God. Did she really say that? But it's really interesting, and it's really good to be able to watch your children and their children grow and develop and transform, because I believe that that's what this life is about for all of us. It is transforming. It is growing. It is becoming. And that doesn't mean take it all out of context. It's just whatever is in your realm of doing and achieving, become it. Do it. There's nothing that's stopping you. You have to move forward. And it's important that you do it. I'm trying to convince you, huh? Or am I convincing me? No, I just know that it is. Because as you watch people develop, change, transform, some people you see, you know that they need to continue. We all need to continue, but I mean, really continue in a way that it makes a difference. Because a lot of people could see it, but making a difference is a difference. And I just, excuse me, I just think that we all need to try to make a difference because of our children and our grandchildren. What are we showing them? What are we giving them? What are we leaving them? And not only monetary things. I'm not just speaking on that. They have to have a value. They have to know that it's important to take care of this and that, whatever this and that may be. It could be understanding finances, understanding just life itself, just whatever it is, you have to be able to give them those, what they call jewels, which is information and things that can change their lives. So they could be different. And we can look at the whole situation of Black people, African American people differently. Once we look at ourselves, it's completely different. And that means our mindset. And I think it's time we could switch over. We've been doing the same rules for a long time. And, I mean, what was the white guy, Einstein? You keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is insanity. So we're not insane, so we know that we all must do something different. Take a different route. Take a different route. That doesn't mean not stay on your track of what you're trying to accomplish or what you're doing, but just sometimes you might have to take a different route to get there. The GPS system isn't designed to give you multiple ways to travel. But that's the same thing in life. You have to have different ways to travel. And different things happen to create change. Sometimes it's expected and sometimes it's not. But I just believe whatever it is, if you look at it from a particular perspective, it's all doable. Whatever it is, it's doable. It's just a matter of thought processing or taking the time to process the thought to get clarity on how to make it a reality, is what I meant to say. But at the end of the day, if you can change your mindset, and growth can really, really happen. And I know. There's always somebody have something to say about everything. But that's just the society we live in. We live in where everyone has something to say, and everyone has a thought and opinion, and I think it's okay. As long as you're in your space and you in a respectful manner, it's okay. Say what you need to say. Utilize your right. Freedom of speech. At the same time, you want to be respectful, but back to just understanding who we are and doing our interaction with each other and how we do it. We need to figure just a few things out. It's real simple. Because one thing I learned about living is that we could complicate some things. It's people, period. It's not even purpose. You just do it. You just complicate stuff. And sometimes it's unknowingly, sometimes it is. But whatever it is, we need to really make sure we look at things differently so we can uncomplicate things. Because some things are really simple. And we don't have to add more to it. We don't have to make it more a harder route. No, we don't. We should be looking at everything from a positive, upbeat perspective and how it can happen, whatever it may be. And it's called What's Next. And I heard somebody saying, and this utilizing this phrase for a mental state, because they said, this person's playing checkers and somebody else is playing checkers. And I kind of like that. Because that means that you're not playing on the same team. But it means you need to be playing chess. Another call. Another call. Hello. Excuse me. Okay, let me work these headphones. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
Brenda,
Yes.
this is your auntie. I just called to congratulate you on your show, honey.
My auntie. Oh my God. Hi, auntie.
Oh, you didn't know my voice, huh?
No, I was gonna catch it in just a few. Give me a minute.
Oh, okay.
I hear your voice. I can never forget your voice. Hi, auntie. How are you?
I'm okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So, oh, you done put me on the air. Okay. I gotta get off of here.
I love you, auntie. I
uh,
love you.
I love you too, so keep your good work up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you have a blessed one now.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's my auntie. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know what happened. I really don't. That's my. Well, I spoke with my cousin. That's my cousin's mom, the one who I gave the kudos to for passing on business to me. I appreciate. That's his mom. That's my auntie. Hi, auntie. Oh wow, that was touching. Okay, okay. So let's get back on track here. Because that's my auntie. I mean, my mom's sister, and so she's not like, she's older, and that's really touching. Uh, yeah. So I was going back to the sharing of the businesses, which is what my cousin did for me, and that's what I want to give the shout out to him. And thank you, auntie, for calling. But it's us doing business in a way that's beneficial to everyone. It's important. It's really important. I went to a meeting. You know, I'm a real estate agent. And I work at ACB Realty, Real Estate in Cerritos, California. But just in the class that we have there, they give you so much information to help you process the process. And I wanted to just say I'm so fortunate to be able to be a part of the team there to get the experience, to get the knowledge and the information. But we had a class, what I was getting to, on 1031 exchange, and that's very important. We have classes on a will versus a trust. And that was very interesting to me, very interesting. And I think with that class, that if there's any class offered, or just Google it, the will versus trust, living trust. Just Google it, and it'll give you so much information, vital information, because there is a big difference. Even in the real estate world, you are faced with legal aspects of it. And one of them is a person having a will versus having a living trust. A will is important, and it means that you have good intentions, but it also could mean that you need more information, because a living trust would allow you to do a lot of things that a will would not. And they have a thing called probate, and you face that in real estate all the time. I mean, not all the time like that, but you will come across it, and you want to be prepared for it. But it is a process with many aspects to it. But one aspect of it is saying that you will have to have an administrator to look over whatever is left in the will for your family, which would have to be someone appointed by the courts. Now, we could just stop the conversation right there and when we got to courts, because courts are a good thing. They're a place where you can handle and conduct business, but it also is a place where you dip a lot of money into it. So you want to make sure that you just understand both the courts and then the other side of it. There's the other courts. But I was trying to say actually that we have to, oh, excuse me, I have a call. Okay. All right, I'll take it in just a moment. Yes, but I was saying that the courts will get involved. A living trust is an execution document where they have to execute what you put on it. So there is a big difference. Once it goes to probate, there are legal fees. Depending on the amount, what is left, depends on how long the legal fees, how large the amount becomes, or how long the case takes, depending on how large the estate is. From whatever it is, they can drag it out for years. And there's a fee for each step, each year. So that's where a will could take you. But I think it's a start if that's where at least you're in the right direction. But if you can understand the difference between a will and a living trust, that would really benefit you. A living trust is something that they have to execute what you say on there, period. And there's no courts involved. So that's less taxes and less fees that's going out. No, it's all money in. I think that's what it is. Because they can't tax you for that particular thing as they will with the will or the living trust. Two different things. You will have to pay taxes, period. That's just what has to happen. But you want to just utilize the best possible decision that you can, which is, what do I want to do, the will or living trust? So look that up. That's all a part of real estate. And it's interesting because when you think about real estate, you do think about just selling houses, buying houses, but it's a lot more detailed than that. There's a lot of things that happens in a real estate transaction or being an agent that people don't really understand, and it just looks like, oh, you can just do one thing and this, but there is a lot of work that's involved, a lot of people. It's communicating. And that's the most important part, is being able to communicate effectively with anybody. It's difficult. It's simply difficult at times because you may not feel like it, or they may not be in the right mood. But that's when we are selfless. We're not selfish, because now it's not about how I feel, it's about the mood of everybody in the situation. Excuse me. Have a call? Thank you. Thank you, Sheena, for the coffee. I appreciate it. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Brenda. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am wonderful. I wanted to congratulate you on your show and just tell you what a good job and inspiration you are. This is Delvinia, one of your old classmates.
One of my old classmates. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, everybody calls me Ann McNeil, but my name is Delvinia.
Hi, Ann. How are you?
I knew you'd know me by there.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If someone has deceased and now their name was still on a home, and now that it's been turned over to their estate, what do you have to do to get that person's people that's connected to that estate off of your home?
Okay, so this is what I would like to do, because I'm not an attorney, and I would have to make sure you refer to an attorney, but I will take the number down, and I will call you and be able to give you a reference after the show.
Okay, that would be wonderful.
So, okay, what you can do is get it you could get it to the, how can you get her number? Oh, okay, we're going to put you on hold, and then Poetess will get the number, and then I will contact you after the show. But, oh my God, it's so wonderful hearing your voice, because you know.
It's so wonderful to see you, sweetie, just doing your thing, just pushing, just keep going.
Okay, so you know the picnic Memorial Weekend.
I know, I just came back from a cruise, so
okay.
I just came back from California on Monday.
Okay, all
so
right.
I will not be able to come back. I'll miss this year, but I'll be there next year.
We'll be thinking about you for sure. Okay, definitely. So, I will get the number, and I'll call you as soon as the show is over.
All right,
and I'll
thank
give you a
you, sweetie,
reference.
and keep going, baby.
Oh
Keep
my God,
going.
thank you.
Proud of you.
Oh my God,
Okay.
thank you. Okay, so that was from my youth. Grew up with her. Elementary school, junior high school, from my own neighborhood. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you. I think her and her husband have a cooking business in Texas. I'll make sure I get the information when I call you back. But I do believe they do have a barbecue business in Texas. It's the Johnsons, okay? Delvina in Texas with the barbecue. And it looks really good because I see you guys really putting that smoke on it all the time. And it looks really good. But yes, that's my girl from elementary school. But I want to say, I'm just here enjoying myself, and I'm just grateful for all the calls. But it's a ladies' room. Oh my God, another call. Hello?
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 Hi, is this Miss B?
Yes, it is.
Miss B, this is Erica. I just wanted to let you know that I'm so proud of you. You're my inspiration. Though I don't have any questions about realty yet because you're going to be the one that buys me that I buy a home from. I
Okay.
just want to give you your flowers. I think you're dope as hell, and I love you.
Oh my God, Erica, I love you too. Oh, congratulations, congratulations. You graduated. Another graduate on the phone. That's awesome. We'll definitely have to have you come on and talk over what's next, okay?
I do. I love you, Miss B. Keep blessed, be blessed, blessed, blessed.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so
All
much.
right,
And
girl.
congratulations, a graduate. You did it too. And I'm so proud of you. And I will really talk to you really soon, okay?
All right, Miss B. Keep going.
Thank you. These, those are the little people that I've had the opportunity to be around. This is amazing. Like seriously, I think it's a Facebook Live or something. Because these are the girls that I helped that grew up. She grew up with Khadijah. And so, of course, I had an eye on all the girls that were close to her. It's like, oh, Khadijah's mom. Yes. And she was one of them, and she graduated. Congratulations to all the graduates. That's amazing. I'm just so proud that I could say that I did touch some girls. I really did, because I made that my mission. Back to that, you guys. I made that my mission to let them know that they were special, they were important, that you can, and don't quit, don't give up. It kind of came natural with Khadijah, but I pushed even more. Like, hey, you can do a little bit more. You're dancing how many hours? No, but she got the message, and it wasn't hard. Back into parenting. Here we go. Sometimes it's really easy, and then sometimes it could be a little bit more challenging. But it's all learning lessons when you are parenting, because there is no real book to say do this or do that. So it's kind of a mixture of what you have been accustomed to, or been your environment, and what you've been raised around, and what your own thoughts are. And sometimes it's a tug of with just that alone, not even including the little individuals you're trying to guide. Because I think as parents, that's what we do. We want to guide them. But at some point you got to say, okay, let me breathe. That's it. And that's the hardest thing to do, is say, okay, I'm done. You're never ever really done like that. But like, okay, let me pull back. Let me stop. Let me take a good look at what's going on with me. I've dedicated a lot of time to this. And then you take that moment and look back, and you're like, okay, sorry, a little freedom here, hey. No, but you're never done parenting, and I don't think as a parent that you're ever done learning. Because I've gotten some of the greatest lessons from younger people, which is amazing. And I've given a lot of lessons too. So that's why the girls, they will say Miss Brenda, because wherever I lived, I tried to make sure that that was community, that the girls knew, all the children really, but basically the girls, because they're girly. Let's give them these little tea lessons, and let's have these little girl chats and just talk about life. And that's what I did with them. And I did the same thing with my daughters. And so that's kind of like, oh, still spreading the love, huh? But it will come back to you in ways that you never would believe. And that's what I want to go back to real estate now. I'm jumping around here, you guys. But each thought takes me to another spot, and that's where I'm going. But the real estate was challenging because with any business, you would think once you start a business that it would be the people in your closest circle that would support you, that would see that, oh my God, she's really doing this. It doesn't matter if it's the beginning of your business, the middle, wherever you are with it, you would want those people to support you. I have understanding why they don't, but I lean more towards you should. And I don't always do everything I should do, so I'm not judging, please. But when it comes down to the business, we really have to be in tune. It's dollars circulating. It's money being made, moving and shifting. And are we a part of it? Are our dollars moving and shifting? That's the question. And it can be on an individual basis, and that's cool. That's super cool. Because I believe if you are being able to generate money, that is a good thing. Not the only thing, but it is a good thing. So I will knock nobody on that level. If there's a door open for you and you can generate money from it and change your life and change lives around you, I applaud that. And that's what we're supposed to do. But it takes a minute sometimes, and everybody don't get this. You can get the same cards, but you can play them differently. You can have the same opportunity, but you can play it differently. And that happens in life, and that's okay. It's no limit to when, where, and how. If you're on a plan and you're on a mission and you have an understanding of achieving and doing something, that when it's going to really happen. But the best route that I'm learning, I'm never too old to learn, is that stay focused and be dedicated to it and commit yourself to it. And if you do something daily, every single day towards your goal, you will achieve it. And I know there's a lot of reasons, a lot of excuses, a lot of justifications on why stuff doesn't happen, because I've had them all, seen them all, done them all. So I understand that. But the real thing is just, what are you going to do for yourself? How are you going to move? Is what you do. I just said I had excuses. To blame anybody, it's always something. No, it's just taking responsibility for self and what are you going to do and how are you going to move now. Make a difference. And it's important for lifestyle change, for our youth, for our families. And the only way that's going to happen is if we can get to one common goal. And it could just be a business. It doesn't have to be, please, not what we believe, not what football team we like. Just one common goal, business, finance. That would be awesome. That one goal. Not even trying to tap into anybody's personal or their beliefs or any of that, but just that one common goal financially. Let's move the money. Because it can happen, just simple. Within our own families, to start to do whatever you can. I mean, even for the grandchildren or your children, a savings account. You know, have to be a lot of money. It could be starting from wherever you are. I don't care if it's 50 cents, drop it in there, save it for. Just do something different. Take a different route, a little different, so that our children will understand and be able to move in the society and stay in it all the way around. And everything's not based on money, but it is necessary to survive. And it is necessary to teach our children good financial skills at an early age. So that's grandparents to parents to aunties and uncles. Everybody participate and teach a family member something. You have to. It's important. It's hard. I don't live in the same city as my grandchildren. And I'm busy, and they actually have schedules too. Already, so it's hard, but I do try to make that call. I try to make sure that I have opportunity to spend quality time with them, just to instill in them all the things I learned through my own children that I could have did better, or I did great. I try to instill that into my grandchildren, and let them know that it's important for them to understand certain words, understand the movement of money, understand being spiritual, understanding how to be fair and be considerate to each other. I have to teach them how to do that. And that's what I try to pride myself on, is making sure that I give something of a positive nature to whoever, wherever I am. I have my days, and I've been on one too. So don't misunderstand me. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that, oh, I'm perfect. None of that. I'm just saying that I try my best to be my best. And when I'm doing that, I am my best. And I notice that. Like, change that mindset. Change that mindset. And we have to support. But yeah, there's a couple interesting things going on. I wanted to touch back on the Mr. Smith with donating all the capital to cover the debt of the entire 2019 class. Now that was freaking amazing. That was unselfish. And there are people, I see so many great stories, and I'm going to try my best to get to all of them sooner or later, but I had to recognize this one because it was a selfless act, beyond an act of kindness to me. It was fabulous for these children to come out of college and be debt-free. That's amazing. That's amazing. Because they will hound you down for the college money for the rest of your life. You know, if you don't come out and do what you're supposed to do, pay them off immediately, that is a forever situation that will follow you forever. So for them to have the opportunity to step out in this society debt-free, to create, and I asked myself this question probably about a week ago, just have an internal thought, and I said, Brenda, how is it at times it's easier to move towards the opposite of what should be happening? Because it takes a discipline to do that. To me, somebody can do it automatic, and that's beautiful and wonderful. But to be disciplined to say, you know, because there's always something over here that's going on that can distract you from here, and that's what I'm saying in other words. But it's a gravity, some form of gravity that can pull you over there when you know it's more important to do this over here or more beneficial. So I had to ask myself that question, and I did. But I came up with, it's discipline. We have to learn how to discipline ourselves where we can do what has to be done. And so, because we will do what has to be done, but it's going the extra mile. It's giving a little bit more. That's what is necessary. We have to give a little bit more to each situation. To each situation, you have to give just a little bit more. And it's okay. But if everybody did that, how amazing that would be. Some small, simple things that should be automatic, but because of our mind and the way that we've been introduced to how to think, it hasn't always been the best way to think for us, or for me. I'll just use me as an example, you know. But we have to change the way we think. Because I can see in changing that, there's a difference happening with me. And that's real, seriously. Just reprogramming my mind to say, for a better me. And that's the results that I'm getting. It's a better me. Starts inwardly. And I'm proud of that. For myself. But anybody that can just give something other than, always have to be money. It's important, and it makes a difference. And if you can do that, that's a wonderful thing. And we need to do more of it. We can always find something that's wrong with anything. All the time. That's easy. Close your eyes, go to sleep. You could do that. But to figure out how to have this money moving through society the way it is, and everybody have an opportunity to experience it, that's different. And I think that's the way we should move, is understanding it. And it's okay. There are things that I don't understand, and I am not embarrassed or ashamed to say I don't understand or to ask for help in the area or ask information about the subject. I just learned not to be that way. Just get the information. Because if you get the information, no matter what it's on, you will have a better understanding of whatever the topic is in life, period, no matter what it is. And it's a learning process in some areas, a little bit more than in others. It's easier, so you just have to know how to process it because it is a learning experience. So it's just so many things. And, in 2019, and it is so different. And that's why I'm going to enjoy the picnic tomorrow because we live in a whole different vibe than how when we were growing up. I grew up in a neighborhood in Carson, California, and it was a real neighborhood. If you walk down the street, yes, Miss Jones could see you doing whatever she thought was you're not supposed to be doing. She could get you, which meant whoop you, spank you. And by the time you walked all the way back home, your mother already knew, so here it is again, on something you don't even know what happened, but Miss Jones said. But you have to be telling the truth. I grew up in times like that, where you just totally could walk down the street. It was one street in our neighborhood where you could just walk. It was fruit trees. Imagine that. But it was awesome. And so that's why one of the reasons I enjoy our picnic that we have yearly, because it just brings everybody back together. And there's people you get to see. Some of them you see more regular than others, but a lot of people that you don't get to see. And still having an awesome time. And then when you have those memories to share, that's even more awesome. Because everybody have a story to tell over what happened. But it was a neighborhood. It was a neighborhood. And everybody respected each other. I mean, there was stuff going on. It was a regular neighborhood, kids fighting, all that type of stuff. But you saw green grass, 2-parent homes. And some of it was single, but a lot of it was 2-parent homes. Elementary school within inside your neighborhood. So, of course, your parents, everybody got straight eye vision on you all the time. Once they built it in the neighborhood. And originally, the people that lived there had to go to another elementary school. But just going back and reminiscing over some stuff from elementary school, that's going to be awesome. It's Memorial Day weekend. And I'm totally going to enjoy it. So I'm hoping that we all just be able to get that groove on that we do. Good music, good food. And thanks to the cooks. Shout out for that because they get up early. Make sure everything's on the grill right. So I want you guys to know, 2 thumbs up for that. That's just showing love for real. And I appreciate it. And everybody that's just coming out. Because we get to see each other, like I said, but just not all the time. But just to have us all out in one place, one location, and oldies. Should be really, really nice. But I want everybody to enjoy their Memorial Weekend. Just know that once we're finished doing what we do, we all need to be back on a mission. It's good to take a break every now and then because I think everyone needs one. A break from whatever, however, whatever, just a break. It can be overwhelming sometimes, but because we are who we are, we process it properly, we keep it pushing. And I think that's the most important part, is to keep moving forward. And that's like the marathon continues. And I have to say that because it was just amazing to me. I'm skipping over the nip now. Because I'm using him as an example of what can happen. If this person is moving in a certain direction and doing a certain thing, and none of it was done by himself, he had help. But there's always that initiator, or that can take the plan or see the ideal and make it manifest. And that's how we just need to move, period. Because everybody cannot be the boss. We don't need bosses. We just need ideals, creativity, and a person that can make a situation move in order to achieve whatever it is. It does take a team. It's a lot of things. You can think it and you can do it. And sometimes you do have to just do by yourself. Now, we can go back and forth with that, but I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. It takes a team to achieve a common goal. And I think that's the part of where we have to build up and get strong at, is being able to understand that we could be a team. Look at, who is it, Steph Curry? I don't know too much about basketball. You know, I'm a football girl. But he could be just the little hot shot of the century. But he always plays as a team and plays with his team. And that's important. So that's the same thing in life. You have to have a team. And you have to be able to play with the team. And playing, first rule, everyone must understand how to play chess. Period. That's a requirement, like required reading. A 5-year-old, he should have already read, let's say, the 48 Powers. No, I'm just saying, but you get the idea of a 5-year-old should be reading. Should be reading at a really good, rapid pace. But I'm just saying that we need to know how to play chess. It's a very interesting game. Oh, and I'm going to mention the Game of Thrones, because I was a true writer for the Game of Thrones from season 1 through season 7. Loved it. The reason why I loved it was because it was so much knowledge and information in a series. But I think you'd have to be looking for it or be able to be in tune to it to pick up on what the conversations were and what they meant. And it was really, really deep. A lot of them. And it was teaching you, this is how they rule the world. This is how they run everything. And it was important. And so I enjoyed it. Okay, so season 8 comes. And I am a diehard fan. Loved it to the characters, everybody, you know, the whole get down on the concept of how they were moving and getting things done. Not a happy fan of all the, you know, slaughtering and killing and all that, but it was part of the movie. But I'm talking about the mental perspective of it. And so when season 8 came, I thought I was going to be just, man, I'm ready. The night season 8 started, I didn't even watch it. True Hollywood story. I didn't watch it. I just could not watch it. It's like, okay, I'm about to do an hour and a half on the Game of Thrones. And I love the series. I would be crapping if I said I didn't watch it. I watched it. True fan. But when season 8 started, I didn't watch it. You know what I did for an hour and a half? Opposed to watching it, I read a book for an hour and a half. First night of Game of Thrones coming on for the new season 8. I don't care what anybody say about the rest of it or any of that. I'm not even commenting on that. It's just that portion of it that I wanted to get to. Was that for that night, that Sunday night, I read for an hour and a half, opposed to watching the Game of Thrones for an hour and a half. And this is something I have been waiting for. I have the DVD seasons 1 through 7. It was so much game in there, so I could just replay it and just get more knowledge, you know, from a different perspective. You know, there's book knowledge, you know what I mean. I could see like, oh, jeepers, this is how you're moving. And so it just increased the chess game. Because I could play. I learned how to play a long time ago, but I never just like perfected it. But then as I got older and I played a little bit more, I got better. So the chess is really good because it allows your mind to think beyond where it should. The object of the game is for you to be so many moves ahead of your opponent. That's chess. And so that means that you're so many moves ahead with your thoughts and your plans in life. That's related to that, okay? Okay, I can get better with it, but that's my thoughts on it, seriously. Because you are really playing at your best if you can think the next 5 moves in a chess game. I mean, once you become an expert at it, then it becomes easy. You can think 10 moves ahead, whatever it is, but you can always increase it, is my point. So I was like, whoa, okay, this chess game is really really something. It's life. And I got that out of the Game of Thrones too. But I also now understand that the queen is super powerful. I love that. The queen is powerful. She can move anywhere she want to move on the chess game. Across the board, 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps. Her mission is to protect the king. That's everybody on the board's mission, is to protect the king. But she has more freedom than the king to move. So that says a lot to me. As women, we need to really be up on our game and making moves. It is no disrespect to our black men, because I love you guys and I think you guys are awesome. But our women, we have a power that we need to move with. I don't know how. I don't know the whole, but I know that we need to do something. And when I say that, I want to go with completion. We need to say it, move it, do it, and make it happen. Because we're super powerful. Because she can move anywhere on the board, anywhere. Anywhere. But her mission, like I said, is to protect the king. So I just translate that over to life. Like I said, I think that's important to look at it from all perspectives. And as women, we do have to, we have to calm down a little bit. Just a little bit. Calm down. And then you organize it. Then once you get your mission, you get turned up again. And then we'll have completeness. But we can really move some things and just change some things, because it's time for a change in our behavior, in our mindset, how we look at each other, how we look at people, period. Period. How we look at people, period. We need to get into that mind, especially our children, our grandchildren, if we can. If you have an opportunity to. Everybody's life is different, but anytime you get to drop some information or knowledge or jewel or something special on your grandchild, do it. Or even on your children. I said my son is here from college, and so I try to drop those jewels every opportunity I get with them, to let them know you have a chance. This is what your choices, life choices. Because we can only help them so long and so far. Then it just becomes, you got to do it on your own. And I want to say I'm proud of him. He got good grades this semester, and I'm just so proud of him for hanging in there and doing his thing. That's another young, avid black man that is moving forward in a positive, productive manner. I'm proud of you. Experiencing life. Because that's important that we do that. But now here we go. It's been a whole hour. I can't even believe it. I'm going to give a shout out to Kim. Shout out to you, this ladies' room. I know that you are, making some decisions, doing some things, making some moves, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. So, good luck. And I want to say to everybody else, I want you to enjoy your weekend. I want you to enjoy your experience, period. Just whoever you're with, wherever you are, just enjoy the experience. Don't look at it. We're not looking for no negative. We could push positivity for the whole weekend. It just would be beautiful. Just one push of positive energy. And that's difficult, because any little thing could get you upset. It's like, wait a minute, hold up, no. But if we could push that positive energy, the outcome is wonderful as well. And that's what we need to do, is make sure that if we don't do anything else, just that positive energy is good. Good vibes. Good vibes. That's important. And don't give up. Whatever you're working on, whatever you're doing, you don't give up. You keep pushing. And I want to say thank you guys so much for listening and for all the call-ins today. I'm so grateful and appreciative and humble. And I wanted you guys to know that Kim knows that this is our show. But I got so many beautiful call-ins today. I didn't want it to be misunderstood. But I'm grateful for everyone who called in. I want to say have a wonderful, wonderful weekend because I'm definitely going to try. And I want to say, Morris Media Live, thank you, Portis. Thank you so much. You have really been wonderful. Sheena, I want to say thank you and shout out to you because it's always a pleasure. You just always on point. Everybody enjoy your weekend and I'm out.